Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video we are doing what I like to call the outer wall of our support. We've already done the center and now we're going to add this outer wall. And here I have it already finished for 3 of the designs. You will repeat it the same for all 4 designs, which will be 6 each, so 24 total. And here what you want to do is you want to turn your piece so that you see the center wall, and then you can start at any corner, doesn't matter, and you want that connection bead that's right in the center of your corner. And that will be this bead here, and then we're just going to follow around. Now with these it's kind of easier to keep track of where you are, because you'll either have the center wall next to you or you'll have the connection beads in between where you are working, so you can kind of keep track of where you are. In a more complicated design it'll be a little more difficult, so you'll want to hopefully repeating this, you'll be able to figure out how the path works so that you can repeat it for other designs. Now for this first bead we're going to add on 2 beads, and then we're going to cross a 3rd bead. And as you can see here, I did different colors for each set. Our next set we're going to go through 2 beads. So we want these 2 beads here. And then, and you have your bottom string, which once you cross you'll have one that's coming down towards your piece, that's your bottom string, and then you'll have one coming away from your piece, and that is your top string. So the bottom string will go through the 2 beads on the piece, and the top string, we've gone through 2, so we're going to add 2, and then we're going to cross 1. Bring that down. And now the bottom string, the one coming in towards, we want to go through a single, which you can see here's your connection bead, so you should be going towards your connection bead. Now with our first single we added 2 beads, but that's because we were starting. For the rest of our singles we are going to add just 1 bead, and make sure you add it to the top string, and then we're going to cross a bead. Then we take the bottom string and we go through the next 2 beads, and we take the top string and we add 2 beads, and we cross 1 bead. And now we want to go through a single, so we want to go towards our connection bead. Then we want to take the top string and we want to add one bead and cross the bead. That down. And now we're going to go through a double. And we'll take our top string and we'll add 2 beads. And then we will cross with a bead. And now we are here next to the center, so we're going to have several doubles in a row. So we want to go through the next double that's next to our center wall. It's giving me a little bit of trouble. I think it's possible that one of our knots has been put here. There we go. I'm not sure which knot, but got through. And now, as we went through 2, we will add 2. And cross 1. And now we want a third 2. So here, as you can see, we're heading straight for the next connection bead. And then add 2 to the top string. And we will cross 1. And now we want the single that's next to our connection bead. And we're going to add 1 and cross 1. And we want the double that's heading towards our connection bead. And we're going to add 2 and cross 1. And then we want the single. And we'll add 1 and cross 1. And we go through the double that leads towards our next connection bead. And we're now going to add 2 and cross 1. And we want to go through our connection bead to get to the other side to begin the next section. And as we went through 1 bead, we will add 1 and cross one. And then this section is a relative repeat of the last section. Each one is pretty much the same, just following primarily the outer edge of our small triangles. So we're going to go through 2, then we're going to add 2 and cross 1. Now we go through the one headed towards our connection bead. And be sure to keep track of your strings, that you're using the bottom to go through your piece and the top to add your beads to. We went through one, so we're going to add one and cross one. And now we go through 2, now we're going to add 2 and cross 1. Then we go through the one heading towards our connection bead. And we add one and cross one. And now we've come to the part that goes along our center, so we will do 3 sets of 2. So we'll go through 2. Then we'll add 2 and cross 1. And we'll go through the next 2. And we will add 2 and cross 1. And then we're going through our third set of 2 for this part. It brings us to the next connection bead there. Now we're going to add 2 and cross 1. Now we go through that single that's next to our connection bead. And we'll add 1. And cross 1. Then we do the double leading to our next connection bead. And we add 2. And cross 1. Then we go through the single that's next to our connection bead. cross one. Then we go to the double, add 2, cross 1, and now we're at the next corner, so we're going to go to the connection bead, and then we're going to add 1, and cross 1. And we want the next 2 heading down the next side. Then we will add 2 and cross 1. Then the single heading towards our connection bead. And we add 1 and cross 1. And we want the double. Add 2. Cross 1. And we want the single that's heading towards the connection bead. We're going to add 1 and cross 1. And now we're at the point where we're going to have 3 doubles in a row. Go right along next to where our center wall is. We'll go through the first 2. Add 2 and cross 1. And we go through the next 2. Add 2 and we cross 1. And we go to the third 2 for this part. And we add 2 and cross 1. And we go through that single next to our connection bead. And we add 1 and cross 1. Then we go through the double that heads to our next connection bead. Then we add 2 and cross 1. we go with the single next to our connection bead. We add one and cross one. And now we've come to the last bit, so we go through the two with our string that's coming down towards our piece. And then the end bead that we added when we began, we want to go through it coming up, away from our piece and towards the top. Then we take both of our strings and we are going to cross two beads. So we'll put two on one string, and we take the other string and we cross it, so that our string's coming through both beads. And there we have completed our outer wall. In the next video, we will connect our walls to finish off the support for our large triangle. Hope to see you there.